Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter analysis, Monster analysis video. We're not restricted to Monster Hunter, but in this episode, let's talk about Monster Hunter. So, with the introduction of Rajang in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, I think it'd be fitting to do a short marathon about him and Kirin. So let's start with Kirin. The topic of today's video is, why does Kirin have a horn? For those of you who don't know, Kirin is a thunder-based elder dragon who will summon lightning to attack hunters. Now, some may think, oh, it just uses its horn to summon lightning, and that'd be a fair initial conclusion, but if you were to break its horn during the hunt, it's still perfectly capable of using its attacks. On top of that, with the addition of Rajang, you participate in a quest where you fight a Kirin that right from the beginning of the fight lacks a horn, and it is still capable of using lightning in all capacity, and it's just as annoying as a regular Kirin anyway, so. But then, if it doesn't need its horn to attack, then what is it needed for? You know, one thing about nature is very against having creatures with extra things that they never use. Usually they'll regress over time and eventually disappear with maybe like the shell of where it was. So, it needs its horn for something, clearly. Well, I have two hypotheses. One that's a bit more fantastical and one that's a bit more scientific. Normally I'd focus on the scientific one for this whole series, but since it's October and the town I live in has a special weekend dedicated to Harry Potter coming up, I'll also entertain a surreal answer, so let's start there actually. The first hypothesis I have is the Kirin's horn acts as a sort of magical wand. While lore on wands vary from source to source, at least from the lore I keep up with, wands tend not to be a necessity, but if you are a low-skilled wizard, you'll need one to cast more advanced magic, and even if you are a very skilled wizard, not having a wand can still make casting advanced magic very laborious due to the extra concentration required and more energy/magic that is required of you personally. So, perhaps a Kirin, because of its Elder Dragon race perk, was able to quickly become a level 20 wizard in D&D, or grind to level 100 in destruction magic, becoming a skilled wizard, or Dova Kirin, if you will. Because of this, it doesn't need a wand, that being its horn, and since hunts don't go beyond 50 minutes, we don't see the potential toll that it takes on a Kirin from using all those lightning attacks. Maybe if the time ran out, we would later see a Kirin that's actually relatively exhausted, because we do see Kirin sleep and do get exhausted, so that could be something that we could hypothetically see if the game continued beyond 50 minutes of a hunt. Alright, on to the second hypothesis. The Kirin's horn acts as a lightning rod. So, despite common misconception, a lightning rod doesn't technically attract lightning. It moreover provides a safer route for lightning to take if the lightning were to so happen to strike the area where the lightning rod is. That way, the structure that the rod is attached to doesn't get damaged. As you can see, when a Kirin uses its lightning attacks, as long as it has its horn will crackle with lightning. So, what if when a Kirin summons lightning, some of it hits its horn, and the horn just helps dissipate the lightning away from itself? And buildings and statues in real life that have lightning rods don't always need them. It's just that it's an extra safety measure so that if lightning were to strike, the building or the statue, for example, doesn't get damaged. So, perhaps along the lines of my previous hypothesis, because we don't see hunts going beyond 50 minutes, maybe a Kirin needs its horn, well, it doesn't need its horn, but rather, since it has its horn, it provides a safety measure, and if it doesn't have its horn, when it uses its lightning attacks, it's technically putting itself at risk of a rogue bolt hitting it and potentially injuring it. So, those are my two hypotheses. And Monster Hunter, is obviously a surreal series, so both hypotheses do have a possibility. But yeah, since its horn is able to break, I don't think that the horn is necessarily used for summoning. So, thank you all for watching, and I'm not really one who likes to do this, but if you did enjoy the video, I would particularly like it if you all would comment about your opinions on this. Is there, maybe you think I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong, or maybe you think I'm right, or if you have your own opinions on the matter, I definitely would love to hear it. I'm not one who's gonna like ask for likes and subscribes because I don't care about that as much. I'm more of an inquisitive mind kind of person. I just like to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions on things, kind of pool the knowledge together and all that. It would be our own research commission, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, another thing is, I know in the previous episode for this series, I said I was going to do another Shari Ishvalda video. That one's going to be put on hold for a little bit longer, just because Rajang is still kind of fresh on people's minds in the new world, that I wanted to hit that now. And we're going to come back to Shari Ishvalda later, and then we're going to move on to some monsters in other series other than Monster Hunter, just to help give some variety. And of course, I have to thank all those who hunted with me. I thank all of you because I only did 2 Kirin hunts to record footage for this video, and they were both successful. Like, we beat Kirin in both those battles, which, if you grew up in like the original Monster Hunter world, you know that when it comes to temper Kirins, for example, people struggled like mad. Like, I had to do that quest by myself, and so yeah. And the person who, because when I did the Hornless Kirin quest, I helped someone who was doing a special assignment. So for them, I glad I was able to help you with that, and I hope your Rajang hunt afterwards went well and you didn't get creamed or anything. But anyway, yeah. So thank you all for watching. Leave a comment, letting me know what you think. But other than that, have a nice day, and I'll see you all when we keep on doing our short marathon.